Hi everyone, welcome to this video. My name is Ross Artwall and I'm here with Cass Manalastis. Together we are your counseling service team. We provide mental health counseling for students. Over the years, we've noticed that some students who could really benefit from our help, unfortunately, have kind of internal barriers to actually coming in and seeing us. So we wanted to talk with you about that today because we don't want those to stop you from benefiting from the service.
So we wanted to ask the question, why don't folks ask for help? And answer those questions and provide some guesses and hypotheses around why some folks struggle to ask for help. And one of the things that we thought about and read studies about was that sometimes we feel like we don't need help. We feel like when things are going well, it's better to not think about, the problems that we're probably experiencing. Like, for example, it's the beginning of spring quarter. Everyone feels good, best foot forward, and that's fantastic. And also, if y'all know that, students experience stress towards the middle or later half of the quarter, you can come to us a little bit earlier to avoid maybe experiencing really intense stress at the latter half of the quarter. So sometimes it's it's actually beneficial to ask for help a little bit ahead of the game so that it feels less stressful overall versus riding the good wave and then freaking out when the storm happens.
Yeah, absolutely. Like sometimes if you come in early, there are sometimes solutions we can find that aren't available later on if things have progressed too far. Absolutely. Great idea. Yeah. And, I think some folks have a hard time giving themselves the permission to come in early because I think in our culture, we tend to have this idea that we should just be able to do everything ourselves, where we should be self-made men and women, and we should just have it together, pull ourselves up by our bootstraps, all that kind of thing. And I think that's really unfortunate. Counseling is a tool that actually adds to your strength. Sometimes I liken this to like using a hammer to pound a nail. Hammer is a tool. You could alternatively think, well, I should just be able to pound this nail with my fist, just my bare fist. You could have that belief, but you're not going to be able to do as effective work without using the tool of a hammer. Same with counseling. If you're struggling with things like feeling depressed or anxious or struggling with relationship issues, those are the top 3 reasons students come in. Counseling is a great tool to help with those things. And that's not just our opinion. That's many, many, many years of research, thousands of studies that reinforce that notion.
Right. Some folks also experience that the actual asking is the part that's stressful. A lot of folks sometimes really feel anxious and feel awkward and scared, I think, to actually go up and ask for help, right? Like whether that's even outside counseling, right? Whether you're talking to your teacher, you want to ask your teacher for help, but you feel weird asking your teacher for help because you don't have that kind of relationship, or talking to your ed planner because they have so many other students that they're working with, right? So sometimes it's easy for us to feel overwhelmed when it comes to asking for help because we think that it's one additional stressor, to go and ask for help. And I'd like to liken this to kind of being like, you take this small step, which is a little bit extra stressful, and yet overall, your overall plate will be reduced, your overall overwhelm will be reduced, because then the people that you're asking for help from will be able to support you in reducing the stress of all the other things that's going on, or at least be there to kind of hold the plate with you so you're not going through it by yourself.
Yeah, work smarter rather than just harder. I think that's so wise. Everybody has limited energy and limited time and need to have balance in their life between working for their future and enjoying their present with the people that they love and care about. So yeah, finding efficiency, we can help you work smarter for sure.
Right. And one of the great things about our counseling department is that you do not have to commit to multiple sessions. You could come for one session and just be like, cool, I'm good. I'll see you when I see you when I'm stressed again, or something like that. We have drop-in hours available on Wednesdays from 1 to 4 p.m. And those are 20-minute appointments. And you can get the link to our drop-in hours on our website. And you can also schedule 20-minute consultations with us that are on Tuesdays from 1 to 4. And, just kind of have a space to like quickly unpack what you're going through and maybe get some support. And you can also schedule one-time 50-minute appointments. So it's not really something that you have to go through and commit to for a long period of time. Counseling is here when you need us.
Yeah, I think that's so important. You can come in and give us a try. Lots of students haven't used counseling ever in their life before. So, why not? Why would you want to commit? You just come in and give us a try, kind of like test driving a car or something like that, or trying on a new pair of shoes. You're not going to buy them until you have a kind of an experience with them. So don't let your ideas keep you from coming in for a test drive. Come in, see how it is once you've been here, and then you make a decision from there, what you want to do.
And it's free. That's also the great part, is that we don't take your insurance. We don't, you don't have to pay us to be seen. So, and we are licensed providers in our field. So that's a pretty good deal when you think about it.
Yeah, pretty accessible, and also we are confidential, to mention that, which means we can't even tell folks you've come in. That includes family. We can't tell parents that you've come in, even if you're under 18, even if you're a running start student, you have confidentiality. So, it's a really accessible service. We'd encourage you to check us out.
Yeah. So we hope you have a great beginning, middle, and end to your spring quarter. And we hope to see you all soon.
Yep. If you want more information, go to the Counseling Center website. You can just Google the keyword counseling and then SPSCC, and that'll bring you to the counseling website. You can read about Cass. You can read about myself. You can read about our colleague Sally, who's on sabbatical, but will be back next year, and learn about how to schedule with us.
Yep. And if you have any feedback for us, you can also email counseling@spscc.edu. We'd love to hear your voices and talk about what possible barriers as well y'all are experiencing, and see how we can make counseling even more accessible than it is.
All right. Have a great quarter, everyone. Thank you. And we'll talk
soon.